Especially happy to having this opportunity to organize a SUPSI, the University of Applied Sciences of Southern Switzerland. We are also collaborating today with the Jagiellonian University, and there is also present a company, which is Deerns, which is the company where Miquel Castellví, which is so Miquel Castellví is based in Spain, in Catalonia. He's an engineer. So you don't have to have a humanistic type of background, so you can also be an engineer and deliver this type of, or acknowledging the importance of applying these humanistic principles. He's been very active over the last decades in several sectors. Now he works in a multinational, he's there for buildings and facilities in urban and industrial areas. He's working in Spain in the branch in Catalonia.
Pleasure to be with you and share this conversation. My story, the story I told you when we met that day in Barcelona, is basically a story of learning from different ways of leading companies, especially related with engineering and construction, also in railway sector. Let's better look for someone that we can move together in future, so that I am not going to be alone, but be part of a corporation. So, and I think that, I mean, sometimes when things go wrong, but you try to do your best, then sometimes there is some luckiness. Also for me, the opportunity to discover another way of working, because what I was most surprised at that stage was the approach that the CEO at that stage made about his company. And he was very based on coherence, and the acts that he did, he wanted to be aligned with a number of principles. And he was always driven by the same principles. And I could see also later that when facing difficulties, he tried to be always coherent. And that was a big inspiration.
I think you mentioned Lalou and reinventing organizations, and I think there's empirical evidence out there why people leave their job. It's because their bosses are not, they don't like their boss, basically. That's what makes people leave mostly their job. There are a lot of people that don't feel respected. A lot of studies, when you look at why people go on strikes, why they march on the streets, it's not because they want more money, it's because they want to be treated and respected in a humane and decent way. And so all of these questions on dignity in daily operations and on respecting dignity in daily operations, what is your experience there? Is that something that you have any, sentiment towards? Is that something where employees, members of your organization gave feedback on? How do you respect dignity at Deerns in Spain?
But this transparency, we understand that brings trust. So if there is no hidden agenda, then there is a way of trusting, because you know what is going on. You could trust on some politicians because they tell you nice things, but maybe you don't know what they are going to do, or you don't have a clear understanding. But you could also trust people that tell things that can demonstrate that are touchable, that you can have this transparency. So we think that trust is related with this transparency. And I started talking with what were my bosses about this idea of having a different type of structure, a different way of organizing ourselves. That since then we have been on a path to work as self-managed teams. And based on also, in fact, on some principles, but that principles that are really defined by the staff and that are driving the way we work. And we have them present in our daily work, and we try to be coherent with them. And so it's now internally I'm the coordinator. It's not the director, because we try for everyone to be responsible and for the hierarchy to be guided by the structure, but guided by the leadership and the experience, leadership skills and experience of the different people. So it's a flat structure. And so like this, we have been experimenting effectively, in fact, for 2 years, and we will continue experimenting because it's a process with no end and with continuous learning, and this is where we are.